Roll call. Burns,
Yes.
Chartrand,
Yes.
Dahlhoff,
Here.
King,
Yes.
Halser,
Yes.
Lachos,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Mowerhand,
Yes.
Mosher.
Yes.
The first order of business, I would ask County Clerk Linda Hoskins to administer the oath of office to each legislator.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office as legislator in and for the county of Lewis, according to the best of my ability.
Charlie needs to come and see.
I, Sydney,
I, Richard Chartrand,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
as legislator
in and for
the County of Lewis,
the County of Lewis
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
State your name.
I, Gregory Halser,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution
that I support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of this office
the duties of this office
as legislator
as legislator
in and for
in and for
the County of Lewis,
the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Ronald Burns,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution
that I support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of this
the
office
duties of this office
as legislator
as legislator
in and for the County of Lewis,
in and for the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
I, John Reed,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of this office
the duties of this office
as legislator
as legislator
in and for the County of Lewis,
and for the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Gregory Halser,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution
that I support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I faithfully discharge
and I faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
as legislator
as legislator
in and for the County of Lewis,
in and for the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Brian Wiltshire,
Do solemnly swear
and solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution
that I support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United
and the
States
Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of legislator
of legislator
in for the County of Lewis,
in and for the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. I state your name.
I, Jerry King,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution
that I support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United
and
States
the Constitution
and the
of the
Constitution
State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of legislator
of legislator
in and for the County of Lewis,
in and for the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
I state your name.
I, Larry Delhoff,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution
that I support the
of the
Constitution
United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties
the duties
of the office as legislator
of the office as legislator
in and for the County of Lewis,
in for the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, the next order of business is to call for nominations for a permanent chairman of the board. Have any nominations?
I nominate Larry Delhoff as permanent chair.
Is there a second to that motion? Chair? Are there any other nominations for a permanent chair? If not, I would ask for a motion to close the polls and have one ballot for the chairman.
I make a motion to close the polls.
Second.
Good, I have legislators King and Burns. Please escort Chairman Delhoff to the chair.
It's a little cold right now. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming and sharing some more of Lewis County's t-shirt weather. Over the last 4 years, I believe as a team, we've accomplished a lot. A new emergency radio system, progress on the business park and JCC college siting, broadband access for everyone, the upgrading of our IT system network, the ever-expanding ATV trail system, advances in our public transportation routes, the hospital operating in the black, just to mention a few of the positive initiatives that we have accomplished. Oh, and I should mention the title immunity system that everyone has come to love. All things considered, we have accomplished much, and with the new Board of Legislators and the excellent staff of county employees, I believe we have the right team in place to continue the momentum going forward. Thank you for all your support. On a less happy note, our fellow legislator Rocky Fawcett passed away yesterday. He will be greatly missed. Committee assignments have been distributed. Everyone got at least 2 of their choices. I did the best I could. Thank you for all your responses to my request. Okay. Jerry, would you like to lead the invocation? The start of the invocation?
Yeah, thank you. Our Heavenly Father, as we come together this evening, we give you thanks. We ask, for your guidance in our lives and also help in making decisions for our county. We pray for peace in the world and ask you for comfort. Those who are sick now may we have a moment in silence for those that passed since our last meeting, especially fellow legislator Rocky Fawcett. Amen.
Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would someone like to make a nomination for clerk of the board for a term to expire 12/31/19? Terry Clark. And second for that. Andrea. Are there any other nominations? And I'm not sure of the wording of it.
Close the polls.
Close the polls.
Someone should close the polls and ask for one ballot.
I make a motion to close the polls and make one ballot. Second.
John seconds. All in favor of Terry Clark for clerk of the board?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Oath of office administered by County Clerk Linda Hoskins.
I, Teresa Clark,
Do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution
that I support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
as clerk of the board
as clerk of the board
in and for the County of Lewis,
in and for the County of Lewis,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you. And thank you all for that appointment and for putting your trust in me for another 2 years. Thank you.
The minutes of the December 21st meeting have been distributed, and I'll announce their approval unless someone would like to make any corrections. Minutes stand approved. I need a motion to waive the standing rules to allow action on late resolutions presented this evening. By Brian, second by Randy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Privilege of the floor. Is there anyone here that would like privilege of the floor? Presentation of communications and notices, Terry.
There are none for this evening.
Reports of county officers and departments.
Legislators have each received a copy of the Treasurer's December report and the fourth quarter bed tax revenue report, as well as copies of the December 28 highway and solid waste audit reports. The legislators from all parties, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, and the Independent Party, have each indicated their wish to have the Watertown Daily Times as their official newspaper for 2018 and 19. They will be placed on file. And that concludes reports.
Thank you. Reports of standing committees. We have not had any committee meetings yet, but if anyone has anything they'd like to offer, Greg?
Okay. Well, these are from last month. From DSS, it's just an update. Emergency HEAP opens January 2nd. To be eligible for emergency HEAP, you need to have a shut-off notice or be below a quarter tank of fuel who have been eligible for and received regular heat this season. The police called DSS at 376-5400 if you need emergency heat. Starting January 1, 2018, all SNAP recipients that are considered able-bodied and have no dependents will be required to participate in the employment and training programs as a condition of eligibility for SNAP benefits. Change in regulations, and all SNAP beneficiaries in this category have been mailed notices to inform them of New York's requirements. Any SNAP recipient who received this notice and is unsure of requirements is encouraged to contact DSS to discuss the change. SNAP recipients choose not to engage in work activities are only eligible for SNAP benefits for 3 months out of 36. If you have any questions, please just say call. And out of community services, the Northern Regional Center for Independent Living celebrated holidays with 2 local events. One on December 2nd. It was a holiday dinner held for families participating in the that program. It was well attended. And on Wednesday the 6th, they held the annual holiday gathering. Santa was at both events. Tug Hill Seaway Regional Planning Consortium held a regional networking event for agencies and case managers on December 11th. And let's see, the Community Service Office received notice from the Office of Mental Hygiene or Mental Health and saw a 3.6% increase in state aid for 2018. This money is used to fund services for persons receiving various mental health programming within our county. And that's the end of that report.
Thank you, Greg. I didn't mean to cut anyone out, so we can go around the room. Start with you, John. You're going to be Chair of Social Services. Do you have a report?
No, I did not, sir.
Thank you. Randy, you will be Chair of Taxation. Any report?
No, sir.
Thank you. Brian, you will be HR. You have a report?
The only thing I want to bring up is that I'd like to go into executive session at the end of the meeting to go over a couple of evaluations that we did.
I'd like to ask a question on the resolution that's on that, or should I wait till? I'll wait. That comes up.
Thank you, Brian. Jerry, Ways and Means.
Nothing at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Ron, Chair of Economic Development.
Nothing right now.
Thank you. Greg. And Dick, the hospital.
Yeah, last time our board met the night after, so I just got a couple of questions. Our loss for November was $165,519, but that compares to a budgeted estimated loss of $211,980. So it was less than the budget. Our year-to-date surplus is still $3,197,247 versus a budgeted surplus of $350,000. Our pension payment to the county was made for $3,615.161 on December. So we're up on that. Beaver River Health Center had their second highest business in a year. South Louis had their second highest in a year, and Surgical Services had their highest in a year. So we're starting to pick up services and things are looking more positive, so I would expect those losses to turn around shortly. Slate of officers for next year: Michael Young, President; Donald Miznicki, Vice President; Philip McDowell, Secretary, by an 11-0 vote. That was approved. Board President, Mr. Young, thanked Kevin McCardle. It was his last board meeting for his terms of service to the community and to the hospital. And on a similar note, Mr. McCardle shared with the group that he's partaking in a gift to the facility of a scholarship in his mother and father's name, who were both registered nurses. Any Lewis County General Hospital employee who's currently in an RN program would qualify for a piece of that scholarship. Delphi's been doing a great job in the ED since their takeover. We're getting very good comments on their work. We had St. Joseph up to meet with us. They brought the CEO, Mark Murphy, the Chief Strategy Officer, and I didn't have his name, and Mrs. Kirsten Heath, who was Director of Regional Initiatives. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Dick? Thank you, Dick. Andrea, the incoming transportation chair.
I have nothing to report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. County, well, we have special committees. Are there any special committee reports? We'll move to county manager report. Ryan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not much to report, but I want to remind you guys that if you want to attend the NISAC conference at the end of the month, the 29th through the 31st, get with Cassandra so that she can book hotel rooms and make sure your meals and everything are taken care of. So let her know if you're interested in attending.
Thank you. Patty, treasurer's report.
I just have the balances that I handed out. Special legislative contingency is at $339,154.14 for the end of 2017. Contingency is at $220,585.52. Capital data processing is at $116,534.08. Capital equipment, highway portion $66,840.85. County portion, $340,532.20. Sales tax to date, $10,682,103.15. We should have the final figures mid-February, and we are well ahead of budget. Hospital repayment on time, the balance is $1.2 million. Internal Service Fund, the reports have been a little bit behind. They're trying to work on getting, with the new plans that we have, they're trying to get them split apart so we get some better reporting to know what the new plans are doing. But we are at 1.9 million for a fund balance right now, and October had a positive balance of $16,000. And that's all I have to report.
Questions for Patty? Thank you, Patty.
Okay.
Report of the Ways and Means Committee for Rule 7, Terry.
The Ways and Means Committee reports, they have examined the claims presented for payment in the total amount of $253,048.58 and recommend that they be audited and allowed for the amounts claimed. I'll need a motion to accept that.
Motion by Brian, second by Greg. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
First resolution then is auditing and allowing the claims in the amount of $253,048.58.
Moved by Brian, second by Greg. All in favor? Opposed?
This is going to be a roll call vote.
Sorry.
So Burns,
Yes.
Chartrand,
Yes.
Donkoff,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Palzer,
Yes.
LaChause,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Morahan,
Yes.
Mosher.
Yes.
Adopting the standing rules of the Board of Legislators for 2018.
Moved by Jerry, second by John. All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Approving the form and the amount of blanket undertaking covering officers, clerks, and employees of Lewis County.
Moved by Dick, second by Randy. All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Waiving the need for a surety bond on the part of the chairman of the Board of Legislators.
Moved by Brian, second by Jerry. All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Appointing the county manager and authorizing employment agreement.
Moved by Dick, second by John. All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
appointing a Lewis County attorney and authorizing employment agreement.
Moved by Brian, second by Dick. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Designation of depositories for 2018.
Moved by Jerry, second by Randy. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Authorizing fire advisory board and providing for payment of allowable expenses.
Moved by Randy, second by Jerry. All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
To extend authorization to Canna RX as Lewis County Health Insurance Plan vendor.
Moved by Brian, second by John. All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Authorizing agreement and funding in the first instance for the construction phase of bridge replacement project, Blue Street over Whetstone Church.
Moved by Andrew, second by Brian. Those, lost my train of thought here.
You have a first and second.
We have first and second. In favor? Opposed? Carries.
Resolution number 11, to appropriate funds for Blue Street over Whetstone Creek project.
Moved by Jerry, second by Greg. In favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Number 12 has been withdrawn. Number 13, authorizing agreement between the Department of Social Services and Lewis County Public Health.
Moved by Andrew, second by Randy. In favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Late resolution, starting with resolution number 14, appointing auditor of county highway funds and solid waste enterprise fund.
Moved by Jerry, second by John. In favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Appointing management or adopting management employee policy manual and approving adjustment to management grade plan. Yeah, you gotta get it on.
I'm going to move it. Brian's moving it. Do I have a second? Randy,
Randy?
discussion?
Okay, so why are we changing grade levels?
Okay, so what this is, remember when we had SciTech come in and do the,
Evaluation.
the evaluations of the paid grades for the different exempt employees? All this is when we go to rehire for these positions, we moved them up with the grade, these two positions up the grade to put them in the parameter that we are allowed, that we can use to set salaries. It doesn't give them a raise, Greg, it sets the grade level in them parameters where we've been hiring them and where the ones that retire end up. So that's all that it is.
So it doesn't affect the person that's in the job now,
No,
but it's,
because they're already in that, it's just that the grade that they're at, their pay is in the grade that we're moving them up to already, Greg, but the grade that they're classified at is below that. So all we're doing is moving them up, the grade that they're supposed to be at the salary that they're receiving right now. That's all
but they're
that we're
still
doing.
gonna see more money.
No, all we're doing is change.
How do you figure that? If they're
Because,
already in there.
no, because they're getting paid at a grade level higher than what their grade is, okay, that we do the exempt employees. So we're just putting the grade levels where they're supposed to be at the salaries they're making right now. Their grade levels are below that. Is Chris here? Am I explaining that right, Chris? I am, right?
Doing fairly well, yes.
Fairly well at one point,
Right now, if I lose a management employee, the only benchmark we have is what they're currently making. So if you'll recall, we had SciTech come in and do a study of all the jobs, so we would have ranges.
Right, and they came up
These positions came up, I believe it was at a grade 2, but they were right on the borderline.
So why are we changing that?
Because they asked us to relook at them, and the point factors, we made some changes to minimum qualifications in one case, and another one, we delineated the duties a little better than what was done in the study, which brought them up to a grade 3. It doesn't impact the incumbents, it only impacts,
Who decided that it came up to a grade?
we hired SciTech.
SciTech to do it again?
Deb Pettit, I asked her to relook at these 2 positions based on a request.
I would add to that, Greg, that when we first, presented this to the HR committee, our thought was from the beginning that we keep this as a fluid document, that we can, as our positions change and the needs change, we can, use that to move with it, so.
Well, I just, you pay somebody a fee to do this study, and then you turn around and decide, well, because somebody complains, you change it. I don't know if I particularly agree with that way of doing business.
I would call it more of an appeal. In one instance, it was an elected official that doesn't have a job description, so Deb Pettit didn't, and her own admission, said that she didn't do a very good job of evaluating that position. So she went back and relooked at it. The other position, the minimum quals were such that they needed to be addressed, and by addressing the minimum quals, it gave that position a few more points. It was right on the borderline as it was, Mr. Kulzer, it was right at the cutoff line. So we felt that these 2 positions would be more appropriately graded at a grade 3 rather than a 2.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Show Greg opposed. Motion carries.
Number 16, authorizing county participation in an intermunicipal professional expense sharing agreement with the taxing jurisdictions affected by the Maple Ridge Wind Farm project.
Moved by Jerry, second by Andrew. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution to transfer funds, municipal dues.
Moved by Brian, second by Jerry. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
With reference to Vice Chairman of the Lewis County Board of Legislators to appoint legislator Jerry King.
Moved by Dick, second by Brian. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Number 19 has been withdrawn. Number 20, appointing members to Lewis County Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy Committee.
Moved by Brian, second by Jerry. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Appointing member to Lewis County Cooperative Extension Board of Directors.
Moved by Andrea, second by Randy. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Appointing member to North Country Home Consortium Board.
Moved by Jerry, second by John. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Appointing member to Lewis County General Hospital Board of Managers.
Moved by Brian, second by Andrea. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Appointing member to Inter-County Legislative Committee of the Adirondacks.
Moved by Randy, second by John. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
To appoint representative to the New York DEC Open Space Committee.
Moved by Andrea, second by Jerry. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Appointing member to Lewis County Planning Board.
Moved by Jerry, second by John. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Appoint member to Soil and Water Conservation District Board of Directors.
Moved by Dick, second by Randy. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Appointing members to Youth Bureau Advisory Board.
Moved by Jerry, second by Brian. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I have the last resolution. In memoriam of Roscoe K. Fawcett Jr., introduced by legislator Larry Delhoff. Whereas Roscoe Fawcett of Lyons Falls, New York, recently departed this life on January 1, 2018. And whereas Roscoe Fawcett was chosen by the electorate to serve on the Lewis County Board of Legislators effective January 1, 2016, as the representative for District Number 9, and honorably served in that capacity until his untimely death. And whereas as a staunch advocate of economic development, he had dedicated significant time to advance initiatives as a member of the Lewis County Industrial Development Agency Board of Directors and the Lewis County Development Corporation since 2011, serving as the chair of the former since 2014. And whereas Rocky Fawcett was the founder of Lyons Falls Alive and remained a key member, generously giving his time to actively guide and participate in various group meetings and events for the benefit and enjoyment of local residents. And whereas he had tirelessly and diligently researched issues to promulgate knowledgeable decisions, particularly those of interest to his local constituents, while always mindful of the entire Lewis County citizenry. Whereas it is proper for us as friends, acquaintances, and members of this Board of Legislators to record our recognition and appreciation for the sincere, generous, and valuable services rendered by our colleague and elder statesman, Roscoe K. Fawcett Jr. That as an enduring record and mark of respect to the memory of Roscoe Fawcett, a true friend and an honorable, able public official, this resolution shall be printed in the official record of the proceedings of the Board of Legislators of the County of Lewis, and a copy thereof shall be forwarded to the family of Roscoe Fawcett. And we want that action moved by
Moved by Brian, second by Jerry. Any discussion? Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes resolutions.
Other business, Terry, to announce the chairman appointments.
Yes, Chairman has made the appointments of legislator Richard Chartrand and Brian Mosier to the Corporate Compliance Ad Hoc Committee. Legislator Brian Mosier as the representative to the Adirondack Park Local Government Review Board. Legislator John Lehman to the Agriculture and Farmland Protection Board. Legislator Andrea Marahan to the Law Library Trustee Committee. And legislators Randy LaChote and Larry Delhoff to the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy Committee. That concludes appointments.
Thank you, Terry. I don't know where we stand with South Louis.
You could, they're not expected here until 6 o'clock. So in noting the legislator Mosier's request for an executive session, you could maybe have that now and wait for them. I don't know, the timing is 20 minutes. You've got 20 minutes. Do you want to?
We can start. We can start. I don't think it should take that long.
Want to offer a motion to go into executive
Make the motion, go into executive session to discuss employee evaluations.
One second, Dick, all in favor? Opposed, we're in executive.
Everyone running to get